What's going on, guys? This is Burrs. I'm going to give you an update on the V7 weapon systems build that I got here. You guys saw the previous video with Mrs. Burrs and I out here at the range, testing stuff out. Brought it out today. I've been firing a ton through this. All kinds of different ammo. Shoots it like a dream, no problems. Super flat shooting. And some people, I did want to bring this up though, some people brought up in the last video that my light was loose. There's a purpose for that. I didn't really Loctite certain things all the way. I might have gave them a dab when I initially came out to the range, because you want to verify if stuff works for you or not. Does this positioning work? For instance, right here, when I have my hand right here, this is a little bit different because it's a shorter rail that I'm used to. So my hand has to come up a little bit behind the flashlight. I'm not sure if I like that or not, but I'm working with it and I'm seeing if it works for me, and that's what you got to do. So let's go further into this. Zero problems. The Radian weapons Talon safety, as you guys saw in previous videos, works great. I'm using it in between every single time, like a mag change, etc. No problems whatsoever with that. The rail's great. OSS Banner Alpha 1 is my recommended muzzle device, flash hider and brake, all in one. We got the backup sights here, and I zeroed it to 36 yards. I need a drink. Talking way too much. Woo! Check it out, my intermittent fasting's almost over. I'm gonna go kill one of those Monster Hydro drinks. Woo! So, in between each shot, boom, 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 boom. No problems whatsoever, love it. Radian weapons. Best charging handles, best safety selectors, in my opinion, on the market today. Something new is this Cloud Defense tape switch holder. And a lot of people might not know about this, but you should, because it basically makes this the only gun you're gonna have to ever buy, or make, or build, or whatever. It holds your tape switch in there, but it also has a channel here for the cable. And it locks it in there. You can bang this thing around. You're not gonna have any problems whatsoever with it falling off like a tape switch like my other one over here. Caramel Dreams over here, my one build with my custom caramel brownie color paint job. As you can see here, I got the tape switch from Streamlight, and you know, it's on there by a zip ties. So if I drop this or jam it or bump into something, it's probably going to fall off with enough pressure. With this one, the Cloud Defense, you don't have that problem. Especially, you know, if you get this, you can see I can't pull that out. So it's not going to, you know, fall apart. It's going to be great. It's going to be lovely. It's going to be a unicorn, and you're going to drive this thing home every single time. We went off track a little bit there, but let's get back to what we were talking about. Everything on here works great. I'm using the Badger Ordnance Uni Mount. It's a Recon Uni Mount. And I got the US optics. This is their TS8X 1-to-8 powered variable optic. I do like the optic, but again, illumination, I'm not sure it's on point with red dot. So even though you can dial this thing down to where it looks like a red dot, the illumination battery situation is always a negative for me, because I just want to keep this thing on for a year. You know, I want to keep it on, that way I can grab my rifle and use it if I have to use it. And I don't gotta worry about grabbing my rifle, pulling it up when the illumination's not on. I'm like, oh yeah, what setting was that I had it on again? Other than that, I'm really digging it, like it a lot. Got it zeroed at 36 yards per Vigilance Elite. I used to recommend 50 yard zero. We even have a video on that, Murr and I, about a 50 yard zero. I used to just go 2 inches low at 25 yards. If you're doing a 50 yard zero or a 36 yard zero, it really doesn't matter. They're both great out to 250, 300 yards, hold center mass, and defend yourself if you have to, and you'll be good to go. A lot of people get hung up on shit like that, and it's crazy with the comments I get, because people will be like, oh, this one's way better, or this one's whatever. Well, let me tell you something. If you can hold at 300 yards and hit the target, center mass, good luck, because I doubt at least 90%, maybe 80 to 90% of the people who are like, this zero is better than this zero at the 300 yards, are not holding a red dot out to 300 yards and putting a round on target. Doubtful. So anyway, other than that, I'm just gonna roll with a 36 yard because it's a little bit tighter at the 300 yards than a 50. 50's fine though. So this is why you test things. I had really high expectations for the Hornady Frontier 75 grain boat tail hollow point. I thought it was me for a while. Put a whole bunch of these 3-round groups down range at 100. Granted, this is a 36-yard zero, so don't expect it to be perfect as far as the alignment goes in the bullseye, but it's not. As you can see there, those kind of stink. They're horrible groups, horrible. So then I went back, grabbed 6 rounds of my Corbon 69 grain boat tail hollow point. You can see what we got there is acceptable. The Frontier stuff, not acceptable. Is that because of the ammo? Is that because of just the configuration of the rifle and not working well with a 75 grain bullet? Those are all things you got to work out, and this is why I always say, get out and shoot your guns and try different ammos, etc. I won't be using this Frontier stuff, and it does say match, because either it doesn't work with my barrel or it's a horrible ammo. Not sure at the moment. Different barrels work differently with different weights and different companies when it comes to making ammo. But this Corbon 69 grain boat tail hollow point I have seen work exceptional in all rifles. So that round is definitely awesome. But you know, this is why you got to get out and, you know, see how things work. Just for comparison, I grabbed some Berger bullets. I forget what weight these are, they're 70 something. But as you can see there, they also are a much tighter group than what these are. And these I didn't really lock in and, like, you know, watch my breathing and everything. I just kind of slung them down range to just verify that these Frontier match ammo rounds are definitely that far off. But I mean, look at this. This is just bam, 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 pretty consistent down here with the Corbon, pretty consistent with Corbon, acceptable, definitely, again, not acceptable. So I say it again, test your stuff. Don't assume something's gonna work great, or you see there's a round out there and you're like, ooh, that round's gonna work awesome for my gun, I'm gonna buy 1,000 rounds of it. Buy a box and go out and check it out. Might not work for you. So stay tuned. Let me know, you guys out there and gals who are buying V7 weapon systems components, put in the comments how it's working for you and what other components you're using that are working excellent for you. Don't comment if your gun is always in your safe sitting and you bring it out and just shoot it on a bench. Only comment if you actually go out and shoot your gun and do dynamic stuff. That way we know it's gonna work. Because you can buy a really cheap car or a really beat up car and it sits in your driveway all the time and you drive it down to the gas station. It's gonna get you there, it'll be fine. But if you gotta actually like drive to the hospital because you're injured and you need to get there really quick, it's gonna be questionable if it's gonna work or not. So comment only if you actually go out and shoot your rifles. Until next time, later.